Hi, I'm Karyn Kusama, and you're watching Trailers from Hell. I'm going to introduce BUGSY MALONE, the Alan Parker first feature from 1976, starring an all-star young cast of Jodie Foster and Scott Baio.
Hello. I'd like to tell you about a new movie. It's a gangster musical called BUGSY Malone, and it's kind of unusual because all the parts are played by kids around my age.
BUGSY Malone is one of those movies that, for me, has a very vivid place in my memory. I was 8 years old when I first saw this film, and I have a very strong sense of how strange the experience was of watching children play in a sort of gangster epic, and to see that Jodie Foster was playing this sort of gun mall sort of tough girl, and Scott Baio was playing the hero, though his voice hadn't begun to break. So there was a funny disconnect between her toughness and his little boy voice. There's also an incredible effect to watching children play these adult roles, and I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. I kept waiting to find out that this was all a dream, but in fact the movie just continues with this conceit that children will play the roles of flapper girls and entertainers and vaudevillians and gangsters. And I think there's something very fresh about it, very experimental, and completely bizarre for this or any era. It's hard to imagine how a movie like this gets made now. I should also mention the film is a musical, which I think is also a very bold move. And you see these kids performing, sometimes with adult voices. The whole movie is sort of like this meta experiment. It was Alan Parker's first film, and he later went on to make other well-known music films like Fame and The Commitments. I think his greatest achievement is Shoot the Moon, the Diane Keaton, Albert Finney film that was, I believe, his fourth film after Midnight Express. But for this to be one's first film is a fascinating choice. It's very risky, it's very strange. There was an incredible sense of eccentricity to this movie in my memory, and when I look at the trailer again, I'm reminded of how strange it is to have an entire feature rest on the performances of young children who are dancing and singing and bringing a tremendous amount of energy and commitment to their performances. They sort of really decided to live in this Depression-era drama. There was something about that that I think now is extremely ambitious when I look at it. I think as a kid, I just felt it was really weird, and it was harder actually for me to find my way into the story than one might assume as a child viewer. But I watch it now and I really appreciate how strange a statement it really is.
There's never ever been a movie like it.
Eat your heart out, Gene Kelly.